right, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman Kelly, Ranking Member Thompson. Thanks for doing this. Mr. Chairman, welcome back.
Sir. Thank you.
Our professors, Mrs. Webb, Ms. Webb. First, I want to say, I don't know anybody here that objected to cutting the 35% corporate tax rate. It was certainly way too high. We have a debate about how low it would go. I just looked up the effective rate right now is not 21%, it's 16%. So it's never actually been 35. And amazingly, corporate tax revenue as a percentage of our GDP is 1.3%, almost the lowest in the wealthy world. We are relying on consumers to pay taxes, citizens, not corporations. We're very, very low. This is a great place to do business. I also have a different perspective than most because I got to serve as the ambassador of Switzerland for 4 years, where the bulk of my time was spent on tax avoidance because of people that were hiding their money there. In fact, there were 600 U.S. companies in little Zug alone. Zug is about the size of Falls Church, but it was a great place to be an American company. Because the whole rationale for Pillar 2 and for Janet Yellen's work and for work that many Democrats and Republicans have done is to try to get away from tax havens and tax avoidance. This whole notion of profit shifting, putting your expenses in the high tax jurisdictions and putting all your profit in the low tax jurisdictions. And this was a real detriment to U.S. competitiveness and people are just fleeing the country. This, yes, part of inversion was our 30% rate, but also a lot of it was tax havens. And we have not addressed that. The base erosion is still very real. And by pretending it doesn't exist, we're sticking our head in the sand. But if this thing is not just about tariffs, it's about global growth. Let's look at the fact that our global growth this year is 1.8%. The rest of the world is 3.2%, almost double. We're getting hammered. We're way below we were. Back we complained about Biden inflation, fair enough. But the growth is a lot faster in 2024 and 2023 and 2022. And why? Well, look at the drags on growth right now. We have this, no one here objects to deporting criminals who don't belong in this country legally. But we have literally millions of people who've been here generations with American spouses and American children and American parents that we are now locked up in Farmville or deporting. But construction industries, the agricultural industries, meat packing, car dealerships, everywhere is hurting for people because their people are gone. And for the first time, I think, ever, we're actually having a shrinking of the American workforce in the history of this country. Number two, we have gutted science. NHTSA, NASA, NOAA, EPA, the CDC, National Science Foundation cut by 56%. NIH, and what we've done to our colleges and universities. This is the worst time for research and development in American history right now. So it is no surprise that we're dragging. But the biggest thing are the tariffs. And Dr. Clausing, I'm so glad you're here. It's day 317. Has the president delivered on his promise to lower costs for the American people?
No, he hasn't, and you're right that there are many factors for that, but it includes the reduction in labor supply from immigration. The tariffs are huge, which have been directly a tax on households, but also higher health care costs due to both OB3 changes and the expiration of the premium tax credits. Those are all big cost issues.
Yeah, it's remarkable, too. By the way, China is having the biggest year it's ever had in terms of exports. Our trade policy has been a gift to our main competitive partner, competitor in the world. It looks like $2,000 just an extra cost for groceries alone. I just noticed that 42% of Americans feel that grocery costs are the single biggest impediment to their growth. Ms. Delbeni asked a very good question about what happens on the exemption stuff. Dr. Clausing, again, we've seen the literally giving of gifts to the president. You know, gold bars, gold Rolex clocks on the desk in order to get reductions in tariffs. How is this exemption process doing anything more than boosting the profits of trade lobbyists here in Washington?
It's really troubling, and study after study has shown the harmful effects of corruption on economic growth. It hurts investment, it hurts competition, it hurts efficiency, and I would expect the same here, even if the tariffs were a good policy, which they very clearly aren't. The manner in which they're enhancing corruption is highly problematic and dysfunctional.
Thank you, Representative. Chairman Brady, I just want to thank you for fighting for Congress's authority, for trade authority, and promise you that we were going to do our damnedest to pull back IEPA, 232s, and other inappropriate giving away of our constitutional right to the president, many presidents, Democrat and Republican, over the years. With that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Thank you. Mr. Costello.